If you want to know a little bit about the Antichrist, he is going to be Roman in origin. Daniel chapter 9, verse 26 says, he, that's the Antichrist, will make a firm covenant with the many for 1 week. The many is Israel. This is what starts the tribulation period after the church has been raptured. A lot of people think the rapture or the departure starts the tribulation period. That's not exactly correct. The rapture of the church is all explained when we get to verse 6 and 7, releases the restrainer. There's nothing left holding back the man of sin. So he is revealed in his right time. And as he comes forward, he enters into the deal of the century with Israel, guaranteeing her peace and protection. It's not like Israel's looking for that today, right? I mean, they're looking for anybody to come over there and fix this. They're going to get their wish in the person of the Antichrist, having rejected nationally Jesus Christ 2,000 years ago. I mean, Jesus said in John 5 concerning the nation of Israel, I came in my own name, and you would not receive me. But if someone comes in his own name, him you will receive. Referring to Israel actually reaching out to Antichrist for their protection. And they're going to get a tough lesson because he's going to betray them. Politicians never go back on their word, do they? He's going to betray them 3.5 years into the process, and that's what's going to wake them up. That this guy we've been following is not our guy. Our guy came 2,000 years ago. And so the Lord is going to use these events to bring Israel, an unbelieving nation, bring them into the fold as a believing nation. But the he is a reference to the Antichrist, and when you see a he, you always want to back up to the nearest antecedent to figure out who the he is talking about. And verse 26 comes before verse 27. Do you guys agree with that logic? Verse 26, then comes verse 27. So if I'm seeing the pronoun in verse 27 and I want to figure out what the pronoun is identifying, I need to back up to the nearest antecedent in verse 26. So the nearest antecedent is Titus of Rome in the prophecy. It was predicted there, the people of the prince who is to come will destroy the city and the sanctuary. Its end will come with a flood. That is Daniel predicting what would happen to the Jewish nation as a consequence of them rejecting their Messiah. The penalty would be the horrific events of AD 70. Where Titus of Rome would come, Josephus talks all about it, and kill over 1 million Jews. They built a barricade around the city of Jerusalem so that the Jews could not get out. And they just killed them in a mass, horrific style. They even tore open the wombs of pregnant Jewish women to strangle the child within them so that the name of Israel would be blotted out forever. Daniel predicted that that would be the consequence of the nation rejecting their own king, because Israel is now under the covenant curses. Deuteronomy 28, penalties for disobedience. Moses, all the way back in Deuteronomy 28, said all these things would happen. That's why Jesus on Palm Sunday is weeping. He's riding into Jerusalem on a donkey on Palm Sunday to the right day, according to Daniel 9:25, and he's crying. Why is he crying? Because he knows what the prophecy says. He knows they're going to reject him and they're going to suffer this consequence. The consequence was introduced by this Titus of Rome. Titus of Rome, AD 70, is the nearest antecedent to the he of verse 27. And so if you want to understand what the Antichrist is going to be like, you just look at Titus of Rome. Titus of Rome came from Rome. So I would guess based on that when the Antichrist comes to power, he will arise in Rome. He's not coming from some Islamic country. He's coming from a Eurocentric New World Order.